Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. Today we will discuss about further polar and non-polar covalent compounds and bonds. And we discussed in our previous lecture what are polar and non-polar bonds and what is polarity and how it develops. Next we will continue from the here delta sign. The delta sign indicates partial positive or partial negative charge that is developed due to unequal sharing of shared pair, bonded pair of electron. Shared pair or bonded pair of electrons. The compounds resulting from polar covalent bonds are called polar compounds. And covalent bonds, for example, water, hydrogen fluoride and hydrogen chloride. As you can see here that fluorine being more electronactive have partially negative charge, and hydrogen is partially positive charge in hydrogen fluoride. And HCl, we already discussed about HCl. Due to being more electronactive, chlorine will acquire partially negative charge and hydrogen partially positive charge, and similarly with the water. And oxygen, and in the water molecule, electronactivity difference between oxygen and hydrogen, it is also a polar molecule. So after it, the further heading is prediction of chemical bond, which is the last paragraph. By using electronactive values, it is possible to predict whether a chemical bond will be ionic or covalent in nature. A bond formed between elements of high electronactivity, halogen groups, and elements of low electronactivity are ionic in nature. And we know that when metals and non-metals react with each other, they will form ionic bond. And metals have low electronactivity values and non-metals have more electronactive elements. And that's why when electronactive or positive element combine with each other, they will form ionic bond. But covalent bond is formed between non-metals and the atoms which have comparable electronactivities, which have slightly different in electronactivities. That's why they will form covalent bond. And the metals and non-metals will form ionic bond, and non-metals and non-metals will combine to form covalent bond. And what is the criteria to predict whether it is ionic, covalent, polar or non-polar? Here it is. If the difference of electronactivities between two elements is more than 1.7, the bond will be predominantly ionic bond, and if it is less than 1.7, the bond between two atoms will be predominantly covalent. And if the difference between elements less than 0.5, then it will be non-polar, and more than 0.5 will be polar. So it is the criteria to judge whether the chemical bond is ionic, covalent, polar or non-polar in covalent compound. So further we will discuss about test yourself 4.2. Give the electronic configuration of carbon atom, which is also given in your syllabus. And what type of elements have tendency of sharing of electrons? What type of elements have tendency of sharing of electrons? Which elements share electron and which elements gain electrons? Non-metals have tendency to share of electrons. And if repulsive forces dominate to attractive forces, will a covalent bond form? I think we will discuss in our online class. And we know that repulsive forces are dominant, then the energy of the system will be high and there is no bond formation. Bond formation only occur when attractive forces will dominate. Considering the electronic configuration of nitrogen atom, how many electrons are involved in the bond formation, and what type of covalent bond is formed? I think nitrogen have atomic number 7 and it has 3 electrons in outer shell. That's why it will form 3 covalent bond and 3 bond with another atom, covalent atom, to form N2 molecule. And what type of covalent bond is formed? Triple covalent bond is formed when 3 outer shell electron of nitrogen will combine with 3 electron of another nitrogen atom, and they will form triple covalent bond. Point out the type of covalent bond in the following molecules: CH4 single, C2H4 double, H2 single covalent bond, N2 triple covalent bond, and O2 double covalent bond. What is a lone pair? How many lone pairs of electrons are present on nitrogen in ammonia? On nitrogen in ammonia. Here it is, we will write the definition of lone pair. Non-bonding electron which are available one in nitrogen in ammonia is called lone pair of electron, and ammonia have, in ammonia nitrogen have one pair, lone pair. Why is the BF3 electron deficient? Because it has less electron, but after combining with fluorine, boron still have deficiency of 2 electrons to complete its octet, because it have less electrons. That's why it is electron deficient. What types of electron pairs make a molecule good donor? Lone pairs. Extra electrons which are present in the outer shell will be act as a good donor. What is the difference between bonded and lone pair of electron, and how many bond pair of electrons are present in ammonia molecule? Bonded and lone pair of bonded electrons are those which participate in bond, and lone pair of electrons are those which do not participate in the bond formation, but both bonded electrons and lone pair electrons are present in outer shell. But the difference is that bonded electron will participate in bond formation, and lone pair of electrons didn't play any role in bond formation. And ammonia have because nitrogen in ammonia, nitrogen combined with 3 hydrogen atom, so it has 3 bond pairs of electrons. What do you mean by delta sign and why it develops? Well, delta sign indicates partial positive and negative charge, and it is developed due to electron activity difference between atoms in a covalent bond. Why does oxygen molecules not form a polar covalent bond? Because in oxygen molecules, O2 oxygen exists in the form of 2 O2, and both oxygens have equal electron activity values, and they have no electron activity difference. That's why it's non-polar and true covalent compound. And last one is that why has water polar covalent compounds? The reason is the same, because in water, one oxygen combined with 2 hydrogen atom, and oxygen being more electron active, it will acquire partially negative charge, and hydrogen will acquire partially positive charge, and that's why it becomes polar due to difference of electron activity. Further we will discuss in our online class. Till then, Allah Hafiz, have a good day.